Okay, YouTube. Well, it's the next day after the unboxing video of the trees. Today is the 6th of February 2015. And I've got my lumber. I think one of the best things you can have in a backyard is the access to take down part of the fence and drive a vehicle up into it. Not everybody's going to have that. But I tell you, it's really handy. Because of the type of soil we have here, and again using Ray Tree Nursery's videos on YouTube as a guide, and various other people's really, I'm going to do some raised boxes for the planting of the trees. This is a lot of 2x12 pressure treated lumber. Some people have different opinions about pressure treated or whatever, but I don't have time to worry about it right now. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So, like I say, this is quite a bit of wood. I don't even know if that's enough, and this is well over $500 worth of wood. So between the trees and the wood, just that stuff, we're over $1,000, and we haven't picked a fruit off of a tree yet. Always awesome. We do have a really big utility easement back here, so I have ample room to be able to do things like that. A lot of my neighbors have fruit trees and things, I've noticed. Of course, they're all dormant right now, but I'm not going to be the only guy in the neighborhood doing this sort of thing. Since the time I started the first video, when I was just introducing myself to YouTube and all of you guys, we've acquired a dog in the meantime, and obviously the box has fallen into disrepair. All that's coming out anyway. But Mr. Doggy is Mr. Destructive, as most dogs are. He likes to chew things. My yard didn't used to look like this, but oh well. I had collected the leaves, as I already said I had. Mr. Doggy tore the leaves apart. I was going to mow them over with the lawnmower anyway, just let them sit out, dry out, mow them down. Had a bunch over there. He tore those up too. He's such a good doggy. Tore all that up. No big deal. He likes to drag stuff over to that corner of the yard. I'm going to have to put a lot of fencing up around things because great dog. Love the dog. He's just he likes to dig. My figs I'd put in, had to put a temporary fence around that guy because he kept digging around it because I had used homemade compost, I guess. And you can see what he did to my root ball. Now the tree's still in dormancy, so it's still pliable. It's still alive. It's, you know, that's the best time he could have done it. So I've got to get in here, take all this out, and redo all of this. I'm embarrassed about the yard right now. It's a living mess. There's no way around it. But it's been cold. It's been wet. It's been funky in Dallas and Fort Worth area. We're going to get it took care of. Okay, so all that wood. What am I going to do here? I have a fence here, so I can't block this. I have my figs right here, right? This is going to fill up this whole space over in this whole area. I'm going to do the plantings, multiple trees per hole. I'm going to start a box right here. All this lawn furniture will be gone, of course. Start a box here. Leave X amount of space in between it. Come over, do another one right around here. And I'm just going to do this down the line. The cherry trees, I really want my cherry trees to do really well. I do know they definitely need well-draining soil. They're going to be done over here. I have a friend who's going to take this tree out. I don't like to have to take a tree down, but it's just not part of the plan, so unfortunately it needs to go. Again, the dog is... I have 4 boys. You would imagine I could get a little more help out here, huh? So, big box right over here, 8 foot by 6 foot. A very large box, 3 cherry trees. I'm going to diamond them in. Whichever one's the most robust will go to the back corner over there. I'll put the 2 which that seem to be less robust to the front, because obviously my sun is this direction over here. This is south, that's west. And this whole yard really gets a lot of cooking during the summertime. Now, however, notice the grass is a lot lighter and greener, and right over here I had some real pretty grass. You can tell, and again, you got to get to know your yard, and there's a lot of people that say that. You do need to get to know your yard. This whole section here that bows out from the house and goes around like this will have a very lush grass growing, a really dark green. Then it gets a lot lighter out here. This area gets more sun. This gets morning, afternoon, and direct sunlight in noon time. this area gets a little hotter and drier. This is my more protected area, and this is going to be east facing. So like I say, I'll put my cherries here. And if you can watch the shadows of this tree, they're going to be right over that box. Here it is. It's about 10, almost 11 o'clock in the morning right now. And of course the sun's still low in the sky because it's not summertime. This is going to be a prime location for those cherries, I believe. That's going to be right. My berries of all kinds, 2 different blackberries, 2 different raspberries, and I have 2 blueberry plants I'm going to put over here. And the reason being, because I'm going to build a permanent cage around all of it with the bird netting, because it's just, the birds are just going to tear it up. I've seen too many people's videos. Well, they share with the birds. I'm still going to end up sharing with the birds anyway, so I'm not worried about it. But I definitely don't want to just give them all my fruit. Remember I told you in the first video that this ground was like a gumbo and it cracks? Well, you would think this is a dog hole. It's not. This is like a troll hole that goes way down deep into my yard. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I am all the way up to my elbow, no problem. And I can't, my fingers are still hitting softness down there. I don't even know. This has got to have been a crack. Yeah, it's a crevasse or something. No, I don't even know what that is. I mean, what is that, right? You got an idea, tell me. But see, I see a cracky formation right here that follows it. And it's just got to be the soil. I mean, it's been a little wet here in the last couple days. The soil isn't clay, and it's a little dry here, but it clumps. It just needs a little bit more friability. I just don't want to plant my trees directly in it. I think it's nutrient dense. I think it's full of minerals. When trees catch on out here, they catch on. They do well. You see, there's plenty of trees, large trees. They went to the house. There's not a lot of trees, but the ones that catch on, they stick, and they seem to do well. They're not. None of them look sickly. I mean, obviously that's an evergreen. They do pretty well almost anywhere. So I think that my trees are going to do well. Peeking over my neighbors, you know, they got some decent stuff going. Okay, this was just a startup video. I'm going to unload all this mess. I'm doing this by myself. Played hooky from work today. With the boss's permission, of course. I'm going to unload this truck, get all this stuff out here, start putting it together. All right, see you in a bit.